Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video. So, y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Now, as we get into this video, y'all already know I like to cover these type of videos. Usually, I try to do it like once a month, mix it in with the normal topics we cover on this channel. Last month, I didn't get one of these videos in. This time around, I think it's perfect timing, and it goes right with some of the recent videos we've been doing with the Ted Gunderson thing with the finders, and when we did the video on the Franklin conspiracy. So in this video, I want to focus on mainly one case. Now, there is another case that we are going to connect this one to. They don't have anything to do with each other. They were done almost the exact same way by both of the guys. Now, what I'll say before we get into this video is brace yourself. It's sick. It's disgusting. Is it surprising? No, but this one is almost on another level. And we're really dealing with a demon that's inside of this man right here. That's all I can say is brace yourself. Hearing it just sounds crazy. Hearing it from the trial, hearing them read out certain messages between these two, y'all, this one is crazy. If you have kids, this is definitely one of those cases that will make you go and hug and love on your kids and want to be even more overprotective than you probably already are. Some of y'all may be aware of this case, as her name is Naziah Harris. I do have a couple of clips and a couple of articles that goes into the facts of the case. Now, the clips that we're going to watch, they come from a young lady I found on TikTok. She also has a YouTube page, and her page is called I'm Not a Lawyer, and she just did a very good job of talking about the case and cutting in and out with some of the clips from the trial. So I figured this would be a good video to react to and just spread the case to as many people as possible. Because like I said, it goes with what we've been getting into, although it does not have to do anything with trafficking. But this is still, along those lines of older men being predators, being monsters, being demons, and the young children always being caught right in the middle, right? So with that being said, y'all, we'll go ahead and cut this intro short. We'll jump into the first clip. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about some things a little bit more. Check this out.
And there is a case out of Detroit that has absolutely broken my heart. Let me tell you everything you need to know about why this man has been charged with the death of this 13-year-old little girl. And yes, it's what you're thinking. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that this is a circumstantial case. There's no body, no weapon, and no eyewitness.
Correct.
It says that the cause of death remains unknown, which, Judge, obviously Ms. Quake is getting to one of the main issues in this case and one of the big questions in this case that I anticipate is going to be a defense argument.
We all know that that's one of the big issues here in this case. So I will admit it with your objection noted.
A little bit of context to set you up. This is Naziah Harris. She was living with her grandmother, Annette Harris, her aunt, Shannon Harris, and her aunt Shannon's 5 children. Naziah's biological mother was not in her life.
Now, you are Naziah's maternal grandmother, correct?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, correct?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah.
Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay. Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so she really didn't have no contact with Naziah like that. She only came around now and then.
Now, the father of Aunt Shannon's 5 children is this man, 41-year-old Jarvis Ramon Butts.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes.
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
Jarvis has apparently like 13 kids. He works as a mechanic and he owns an auto body shop with this man whose name is Cordell Wright, aka King. And this body shop that the two own and work at is not too far from where Naziah lives with her grandmother. Police say that on January 9th, 2023, Naziah gets off her school bus, but instead of heading home to her grandmother's house, she instead heads toward Jarvis's shop.
It is January 9th, 2024, 2:54 p.m.
Now, before she reaches the shop, Jarvis and King see her as they are on their way back from picking up a part from the auto store.
On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something. So we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back. And on our way back, we was coming down Harbor. Jarvis said, I see my niece right there, she walking. We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time. She got in the truck with us. She spoke, hi King, hi Jay, and we proceeded back to the shop. We started working on the Jaguar, putting the parts back on.
Now, multiple people testify about seeing a little girl with Jarvis on January 9th, the day she went missing, including Jarvis's own sister, who brought her car up to the shop that day.
And what's the reason that you went and talked to Detroit police?
I had reason to believe that I saw Naziah the day she went missing.
Okay. From the very beginning, where is it that you think you saw Naziah?
At the shop on Harbor Encounters.
Okay, and whose shop is that?
My brother Jarvis Butts and his partner.
So what's the reason you were at your brother's shop that day?
Something was wrong with the car that I was driving, and I just needed him to check it out to make sure it was safe for me to drive.
Okay. Do you recall about what time did you go to Jarvis's shop that day?
About 4 p.m., give or take a few minutes. So I was sitting outside of the shop in my car because they were working on another car on the inside. As I sat there for the time that I was there, I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
Do you get a look at this little girl that you see getting in and out of his car?
I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face. I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Did you know who this little girl was at the time?
No.
And did you ever ask Jarvis who the little girl was?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me, and I can't remember if it was this exact word, or he said it's my partner's niece, or he said it was King's niece.
Okay,
But,
you knew who he was referring to?
yes.
Okay. Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. Okay, and what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom. She told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
So, based on those, do you go and talk to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you go and talk to?
His partner, King.
Okay.
After I mentioned to him that I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl, he then told me that that was Naziah that I saw that day, and I was there.
So what is it that you did after speaking with King that day?
I called Shannon Harris and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And
Whew. So again, January 9th is the last time that anyone's seen or heard from Naziah, and Jarvis is the last person that she is confirmed to have been with. Which leads me to the second thing that you need to know about this case, and that is, while the case is circumstantial, the circumstances are pretty strong. This picture of Naziah was taken the day that she went missing. And pay attention to her glasses because it turns out Jarvis asked one of the mother of his children if he could borrow her car. But when he returned it, he left something in there.
when is it that Mr. Butts borrowed your vehicle?
January 9th. He called and asked if he can use my car to do something with his son. I didn't get home till about 9 o'clock, and he came to my house to pick
Okay.
my car up.
Is that 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.? When did Mr. Butts return with your car?
The next morning.
Was this normal, abnormal?
No, not normal.
Not normal? Okay. Did you notice anything in the back seat that was different?
There was a pair of glasses that was left that my son was playing with at the time. I believe they were clear around the frame part. I don't know what the ends look like, but I do remember they were clear around the frames.
Okay. So you're at the shop. You see your son playing with the glasses. You take them from him. Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, tell me, what does Jarvis do?
He snatched them from me and said those were his sunglasses.
Okay.
Police also looked into Jarvis's phone location data to track his whereabouts and conduct some searches along those lines to see if they can find anything connected to Neziah. And they did.
All right, y'all, real quick. Now, the next part of the clip we're going to show is where, I was like, brace yourself. Because it's going to get a little hard to listen to, especially knowing she was 13 years old at the time. If you were listening close to the grandmother in the beginning, she ended up getting custody over Neziah Harris, who was 13 years old at the time that she went missing on the east side of Detroit. Her mom was not in her life at all. Even the grandmother was like, I don't fool with my daughter. Whatever's going on, that situation is that. She's not involved in her child's life. The father in this situation, obviously not even spoken of, have no idea who the father is. She stays with her grandmother. Now, listening to the whole thing myself, everyone that was an adult involved in her life, to me, should be held responsible for what happened, especially the woman who Jarvis Butts dated. Now, I think that was the lady with the short hair and the glasses on that we heard on the second clip, the second black lady that was speaking, because she said they had about 5 kids together. Now, this is sick. Number one, for her to still be associated with the man is out of this world, out of my mind. I don't know why she chose to still be with this guy. Obviously, she had 5 kids with him. But when you find out his history of abuse, your mind is going to be blown. So I don't want to go completely into the timeline of her death yet, because I want y'all to see more of the actual footage before we read all of this article. We'll touch on it a little bit for a little bit more context. It says it's been nearly a year since 13-year-old Neziah Harris went missing in Detroit's east side. So dozens of searches have been conducted since then, but she has never been found. Her case almost went cold until later in the year when Jarvis Butts was arrested in connection to Neziah's disappearance. Police began investigating her case as a homicide. Piece by piece, police have been trying to understand what happened to Neziah and how Butts is connected to a murder. Prosecutors said Butts was supposed to turn himself in to authorities on a gun charge on January 9th, 2024, the day Neziah went missing. But that date was pushed back to February, so he didn't have to turn himself in. That's one thing to notice. Neziah Harris allegedly met up with Butts that same day, and the two reportedly went to Celanti before returning back to Detroit, where Butts checked into a motel. So it's crazy, y'all. He was actually supposed to go to jail the day that she went missing and she met up with him. But somehow his turn-in date got pushed back. I have no idea how that even happens. Like when they tell you got to turn yourself in, oh, never mind, you can turn yourself in a month later. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that gun charge that he had. It says text records allege that Butts knew Harris was pregnant and that he began searching online about abortions, abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze. So that is where we're going to stop it. I want to go right back into the clip where they start explaining some of the text messages that went back and forth between Butts and Neziah. And man, it is sickening, y'all. So with that being said, we'll jump back into this clip. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to read a little bit more from this article, all right? Check this out.
Police also looked into Jarvis's phone location data to track his whereabouts and conduct some searches along those lines to see if they can find anything connected to Neziah. And they did.
As we did our workup and we're looking at different locations that Mr. Butts had been to, as we start breaking down the phone mapping a little bit more on Mr. Butts' phone, it kind of led us to 7 Mile and Berg. So 7 Mile and Berg, there is, it used to be a golf course, which is now shut down. And then on the other side of Berg, there's a parking lot where it has like a vacant building, which used to be the clubhouse for the golf club. And then right behind that parking lot is the Rouge River. We searched the complete river from 8 Mile all the way down past 96 on foot with cadaver dogs in boats in the water.
What evidence did you find?
We collected a pink jumpsuit, like bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes. That is one of the black, red, and white gym shoes that we collected from the wooded area. That is the black jacket that was collected. It is towards the front of the photograph, kind of behind that tree branch. So yes, that is the paper and the pair of headphones that was recovered from that pocket.
Okay.
So that's going to be the hood of that hooded jacket. We noted that there are several holes in the jacket of unknown origin. That is the pink jumpsuit that we recovered.
So how close was the Rouge River, I guess, to the area that you were searching?
So there was a large parking lot just off of the west side of Berg, and then there was an embankment leading down to the river. I would say less than 500.
Last thing I want to point out concerning these circumstances is that police also believe that they have a motive. Here's a little bit of Naziah's aunt Shannon testifying about some of that.
Can you kind of describe the relationship between Naziah and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024,
Officer Gardner came to pick up Naziah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. The tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay.
It was 2 sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. It wasn't nothing there, but you know, it was a picture was sent. Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? So there's 2 particular messages that states out and there's a picture. And he stated that, I don't know, these messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
All right, now this is your warning. Police did access messages between then 12-year-old Naziah and 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, and it's bad. Really bad.
September 27, 2022, 1:54 a.m. She sent a message, where are we doing it at your choice? A message is replied to Jarvis, it says basement. A message is sent to Naziah from Mr. Butt's phone saying, can you suck my dick, please? And make sure you erase the messages. Go change your clothes and take your panties off. Are we doing it tonight? I'm ready, fresh out the shower. You coming over? Don't have school. Asking, you coming? She receives a message from Jarvis that says, stop messing with people and just be mine. I'm finna go to lunch, love you. I can't stop thinking about you either. She sends a message to Jarvis. Hey, you may think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. My phone broke. Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad. Can you tell me why you mad at me, yes or no? He replies to her saying, I haven't seen or talked to you. He had sent to her, I'm at your house. She says, damn, we was just there. You bet not be in my room. He sends her a message that says, I stole your panties. Didn't I make you come faster than ever? Jarvis, I'm sorry for making you mad, but do you ever think how I feel knowing that I can't have you to myself? But you have me to yourself, and no, I'm not seeing anybody else, I swear. Then you going to hit it from the back again? Send me some pictures, please. I want some pussy. And the name on here that she has this number saved is Bae for life, B-A-E, the number 4, and then life. Are you naked yet? Come on, Bae, I'm sorry, just not in the mood right now, I'm sorry. I didn't sneak out for nobody, I swear. I know you're having a rough day, but I swear I'm not lying. Why won't you believe anything I tell you? I'm not like other girls, there is no need for me to lie to you. The meaning is, you're mine and mine only, and all you're mine and will stay mine. Go take them panties off. He sends a message to her that says, I'm trying to, can I get my dick sucked today? I just want your body on mine. We doing something or what? At 0123, she replies, I want to lay with you. He replies, I'm going upstairs. She sends, okay, Shan going up there too. Give her some so she can shut up and leave you alone. She only acting like that because she's horny. Come downstairs so I can sit on it real quick. You was right, it hit different outside. Do you like your girls skinny? That's messed up because I was gonna f the shit out of you. I still want you to do it. August 4, 2023 at 22:07 hours, Naziah sends to Jarvis. Shan and Nana left. Jarvis replies, okay, what you saying? Naziah then replies back, what you think I'm trying to say? I want to try something. A threesome. You down for it? Thinking about you. My period haven't came at all. Hello, you there? It have not came. Jarvis replies to her, since when? Since I was in the hospital. That was last month. I'm scared. I don't know IDK. What to do? I have to go to the doctor's TM for tomorrow. You said that you took a pregnancy test and it was negative. She replies, it did. Jarvis then replies, so go get another one. I can't. I have no money. 1443, she says, you ain't scared to get a plan B. Get a pregnancy test and bring it later today. Just act like you have to use the bathroom. 1456, Jarvis replies to her with, okay. September 27th, starting at 21:26 hours, Naziah sends, but are we still on for Friday? Jarvis replies, yes. What we doing though? At 21:49, she sends back. Jarvis replies, seriously? Naziah replies, yeah, what else we gonna do? Jarvis replies back to her, where? It now jumps to October 21st at 19:05 hours. Naziah sends, hey babe, I need that plan B today. Jarvis sends her the letter Y.
And now jumping to November 27th.
Naziah sends, I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. I don't what's your problem, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. It's hard doing all this gym shit with this baby. And if I don't do them, I'm going to get a F. January 9th, 2024 at 14:21, Naziah sent to Jarvis, don't forget to be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. Send okay if you've seen the message so I can delete your number. Jarvis replies, okay, and those messages were deleted.
Now, the clip we just watched is what made me do this video. When I heard the text messages, and now he even went as far as delete my number, you know, delete the messages after we talk, so on and so on, so they wouldn't get caught. Mind you, I think the judge said she was 12 years old at the time when they first had intercourse, or when it was really starting. 12 or 13. She may have been 12 years old. All I can say is it's sick, y'all. And the reason why I feel like people should hear it, because that is the reality right there. When a little girl has no family, basically, if she had real family, this would have not happened. Want to know why? It's another thing the judge brought up. It was a female judge, black lady. She brought up the fact that the family knew she didn't get off the bus and come home by 6 o'clock like she normally does on a school day. They didn't call the police 1 hour later, 2 hours later at 8 p.m., not even 4 hours later at 10 p.m. when she hadn't been home. They didn't call the police until 6 in the morning the next day. Think about that, y'all. Her own supposed loved ones, auntie or grandmother, I'm not sure if it was the grandmother or not. I don't know if they all lived together. But they didn't call the police until 6 in the morning. She was supposed to be home 6 p.m. the previous day. They went to sleep, slept comfortably, not knowing where this little girl was. She was failed on so many levels that it is disgusting, y'all. That's why in the beginning I said all the adults in her life are responsible for her death, especially this guy. But everyone is responsible because it started with the family, with someone who already knew, and she probably even knew Naziah was pregnant. The girl said it'd been over a month since she had her cycle. You think around that age, the parents or, the grandmother, they know when the little girl is on her cycle. She's young. She's going to need female things that she can't buy. She doesn't have her own money. So they know when that time comes for her. Something they ignored or they just didn't keep track of it with her. You know, she basically was one of those little girls that, in a sense, was around certain environments and grew up way too fast just by those text messages, way too fast. And that goes back to the parenting, to the family. And then you got this disgusting demon in this guy who's literally grooming the little girl, turning her into what his fantasies are all about, what his sick desires are. Groomed this little girl. Like I heard people say they were in a relationship. No, that was not a relationship. That was a demon in this man grooming this little girl because he has previous history of it. It is disgusting, y'all. This is where we'll jump back into some of this article. Mind you, remember, even when her aunt and grandma, they was on the stand, there was really like no emotion from these people. Only the one lady cried, which I think Jarvis was her brother. Even the lady that said she found the messages on Instagram, it seemed like she didn't even really want to be on the stand talking. The judge was looking at her, just already know she was thinking crazy about this woman. But check this out. It says authorities believe Butts had been sexually abusing Harris since 2022 before killing her in January. Prosecutors said he had a history of targeting and befriending women to get close and sexually abuse their daughters. So he did this kind of stuff on purpose. This guy was 41 years old, y'all. It's not the only sexual abuse case Butts is involved with. He also has been charged for reportedly sexually abusing 2 other young girls, as well as a conviction for sexual assault in 2005. Prosecutors call Butts a serial child you-know-what, who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter who reportedly caught chlamydia from the assault. 4 and 8 years old. He was charged on September 27, 2024 as a habitual 4th-time offender. Butts and Harris had reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousins. The abuse of Harris allegedly began in 2022 with sexually explicit texts and photos being sent to the child. He was tracked to the Rouge River in Detroit the day after her disappearance, where police would later recover the clothes Harris was last seen wearing. Authorities said there was damage to the clothing that could indicate a struggle. Butts was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, child abuse, and second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a person under 13. Isaiah Harris got off a school bus at Cornwall Street and 3 Mile Drive, which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue and Outer Drive on Detroit's east side. She was never seen again. Jarvis Butts was scheduled to turn himself to authorities on a gun charge. However, this was pushed back to February. January 10, 2024, Detroit Public Schools Community District launched an investigation after Annette Harris, Naziah's grandmother and guardian, reported her missing. February 14, 2024, after officials with the Detroit Public Schools Community District hit a roadblock, they brought the case to the Detroit Police Department, leading to police canvassing the area and investigating the case on February 14th. February 15, 2024, Detective Jason Mays and his partner interviewed Jarvis Butts in connection with Naziah's case. Butts claimed he was dealing with a legal issue on the day Naziah went missing. He also told Mays and Johnson that Naziah, who's related to one of his daughters, would occasionally come to his auto shop to work with his daughter. March 7, 2024, a woman reports to police she found Naziah's school ID. She says she stepped over it multiple times for over 2 weeks before deciding to pick it up. Once she picked it up, the ID was face down. She recognized Naziah's photo and called the police. March 12, 2024, 2 months after Naziah's disappearance, her family told Local 4 they're holding on to hope of finding her. At this point, there had been over a dozen searches for her. Authorities searched the area of 7 Mile and Berg near the river in relation to Naziah's case. There, they found pink overalls, a black hoodie with headphones in a pocket, and a shoe. August 15, 2024, Detroit police submit a warrant request relating to Naziah's disappearance. September 26, 2024, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy announced Jarvis Butts was charged in connection to her disappearance. Authorities announced the case will be treated as a homicide, even though a body has not been found. September 27, 2024, Jarvis Butts is arraigned and faces multiple charges in Naziah's murder. November 1st, 2024, Jarvis Butts' preliminary examination begins. and not only focused on Naziah's case, but also 2 other victims' butts allegedly sexually assaulted. A 13-year-old and a 20-year-old testified in 2 separate sexual abuse cases. So this case has not yet went to trial. I'm pretty sure it will be a quick one. And the worst part about everything, this photo is the last time she was ever seen. This photo is actually the day that she went missing, on January 9th, 2024. And they have yet to find her body, y'all. They have yet to find her body. Now, the fact that they never found her body, there's a very good chance that they may never find her body, reminds me of this case with the 2 above, right? Very eerie, because the 2 guys, they look similar. They're both, light-skinned men. They both have long hair. And they both murdered 2 young girls who were close to them. This girl here, her name is Ayanna Sawyer. And I believe she was a little bit older than Naziah Harris. I don't think she was any older than 15 or 16 years old. Same story. This guy right here, he was having a sexual relationship with her. Also, the family of this little girl was already coming at him about being too close to her. So his girlfriend at the time, she basically knew what was going on. He was already confronted by the family that he was too close to her. They were having, sexual relations with each other. And it was the same thing. She ended up getting pregnant, just like Naziah Harris. And this guy took her to a place that was near his job, tried to strangle her. He said he couldn't stomach strangling her, so he shot her. He dumped her body in one of those green trash compactors. Not the compactor that you press a button and it smushes the trash, but it's one that's just sitting there that you can just openly dump trash into. One that basically gets took to, the field where there's just millions of pieces of trash. And so that's what happened to her. They never found her body. It is assumed that her body was dumped in the landfill, not by him, but by, the trash being picked up and dumped wherever in that landfill. They spent a lot of money trying to find her in the landfill, and they never found her. They believe that they found a couple of items of her clothes that she had packed when she went missing, but they never found her body. The crazy thing was, this guy, what's even more scary about it, the guy up here, he may have gotten away with it if he didn't talk too much. He told his own brother everything that he did, and his brother testified against him and actually called the police on him. He also got to jail and told jailhouse snitches exactly what he did. So he talked himself right into jail. Before that, I think they just had suspicion. They questioned him, blah, blah, blah. They had no solid evidence. Never found her body. Same case as the one with Naziah Harris. It was sick. Neither of their bodies have been found. It was the exact same way. This little girl, Ayanna, she was around him. She used to go to his house, chill with the family, so on and so on. So this lets you know how scary it can be. And it's almost to a point where you have to make sure you can trust your child being around, family or, family that's not so immediate. It almost doesn't even matter. But you should be able to gauge and discern what kind of spirit you're dealing with inside of this person. And if there is a single hint that this person is a little too friendly with your daughter or your son, then you should immediately cut off all contact. because both were failed by their family. Even with Ayanna, they had already confronted him about being too close to her, but they didn't really do nothing. They were sending each other messages, Snapchat, all of that. It's almost the exact same case as Naziah Harris. And that's what makes it even more sick. Each case, the girl got pregnant, they didn't want it to come out, so they killed the little girl. The one with Naziah Harris, I think it's more he tried to like perform some kind of at-home abortion and he killed her and he hid it and her body is I don't know where. No one knows. So I don't think it was a straight up shooting or I'm going to strangle you type of murder how Ayanna was killed. But either way it go, it's the same thing. They both were trying to get rid of the evidence, but we all know everything done in the dark will come out to the light. And no matter how much, Mr. Butts was trying to make her delete his number, delete messages, it didn't matter. This stuff was eventually going to come out. And that just goes to show you the spirits that's working inside of these people because they don't even understand that. They don't even understand stuff that's simple like that. We're looking at demons in these men. They don't even understand what they're doing is going to, it's going to hit a boiling point. Something is going to happen. You're not going to, what do you think you are? You're 41 years old. You think you're just going to continue messing with this 13-year-old girl for the rest of your life? They already just not even anywhere. They're already not smart from the beginning. They're predators, number one. It's like, if I don't understand that kind of mindset, but me in my mind, I'm like, what do you even think is going to happen here? She's 13. What do you think this is going to go? I don't really understand it because I'm not these people. I've never had these kind of thoughts. I don't know, I don't understand it. Those demons are, they are preying on little children and they are possessing these men and they're doing it right in your family, which is why I said this one right here will make you look at your children and be a little bit more overprotective. Forget, your child complaining and doing all this and doing all that. As long as you know you did your job or you doing your job in protecting your child from demons like this, it doesn't even matter. If they under your roof, they under your care, under your money, under everything with you, at this point, it don't even matter what they want. They want to go do sleepover. No, we're not doing none of that. You don't trust no one who she's around, who he's around, none of that. It's more safe in 2025 to be overprotective and fully control your child's life than to slack off and let something like this happen. It don't even matter at this point. It don't matter. Or else it may get you in this situation. Sick, y'all. It's sick, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, way in the beginning, y'all already know, man, I like to cover these, types of subjects. Y'all already know I like to cover these topics, man, and just bring more awareness to what's actually going on in this world. This one right here, it broke my heart because I watched the case with Ayanna Sawyer. I watched that case, I think, twice because I just couldn't believe. I couldn't believe what and how it happened. Because there were like, an episode on Law and Crime where they covered it extensively. Like, I think I watched it twice. And it's just shocking, man. And to see this happen to another little girl, I think the one with Ayanna was a couple of years ago. And this one being the most recent and it being the exact same thing, man. It just lets you know that there are more of these predator men out there than you can imagine. And some of them are in people's family. And it's sad, man. It's sad. We definitely got to protect the little ones as much as we can, man. So with that being said, y'all, definitely let me know what y'all think about this video. any more ideas or videos along this kind of topic, true crime related, or just, things we can get into and, discuss discernment about it, or, the spiritual side of these type of things, which I really like to touch on, because still a lot of people doesn't understand how it relates to the spirit world and the fact that demons are running rampant and possessing these people at an all-time high. So yeah, man, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm out.